It's gotta know. Say, bro, what's happening, bro? Fish fry tomorrow at your crib, bro? What's that? Catfish looking ass.
Hey everybody, it's the
What's
coach.
the deal,
Welcome
bro?
to the
What's
special
that?
Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the London Bulldogs and the Arizona Cardinals. With that, let's get out to the desert. Standing by in Glendale, here are Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. A moment ago, this Arizona crowd was on its feet. The defensive starters, led by perennial All-Pro Patrick Peterson, were introduced. And they've got a tough one on their hands as they'll square off with their opponents. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Londoners, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Reset. Hey, easy.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. He's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And give him a gain of 37.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop him on 3rd down.
He'll get it up the middle, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Hey, check 26. Hey, check 26. Come on.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Forced out to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays and kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get him the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road. You're under the lights. National television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real. And a pretty nice opening statement.
Here we go now.
On 1st and 10, Goodman underneath for Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Looking to throw. Goodman. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Goodman dumping it off for Johnson. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, fun on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run.
That's fine. Yeah.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it's London football to begin quarter number 2. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out.
You reset. Hey, easy. Go to 50.
They'll pitch it out to Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They go play action here on 1st down. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it at 2nd down. These offensive starters still out there in the 2nd quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the 3rd quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the 3rd.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Danny Trevathan. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Throwing to start the drive. Goodman, Tajay Sharp, the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
On 2nd down, Johnson. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
From the gun, Goodman. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Whenever I go to a team's practice facility and watch them work, I love to watch the defensive guys in what they call pursuit drills. The ball goes either towards them or away from them. How fast will they respond? On this play, the defensive end responded better than anyone and made a really nice play.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
A full start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Operating from the gun. Goodman throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cobb. And down he'll go at the 25. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Here we go. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
But he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. From the gun, Goodman, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here we go now.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Goodman, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Henry. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. On play action. Now Rodgers. He's going to air one out. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Goodman, and he's going to be grabbed. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. Standing just outside his own goal line. Taking it about the 16. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And here now the offense heading back out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On second down, here's Rodgers. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And that'll make it 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
14 seconds, all that's left of this first half as they come up on first down.
Here we go now.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. So we've an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. Jamal Agnew now to return it. Ooh, the juke. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there of 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Henry's got it out on the left side. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. On play action, Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Thomas, the intended target, and it's 3rd and short.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Hey, reset. Hey, easy. Yeah, Liz. Over.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting unit's still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the third quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done. For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
Now it's Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. It's McKenzie. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On third down, here's Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. A 6-yard touchdown run. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. To throw on second down. Goodman. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Coleman has it here right side. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
The give is to Jones. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Right now, you got 58.
On third down, That's Jones. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
The 15 yards there on the catch and run.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. And he used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Looking to throw. Goodman. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time. And another. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. A first throw for the backup, Rosen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Here we go.
Here we go. It's Rosen on 4th down. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Scoring has really been at a premium, and Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
Throw left side complete. That's McKenzie. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The first carry for Josh Adams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 3rd down. On play action, they'll throw. Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. And all the way in for the touchdown. Equanimous St. Brown, 53 yards. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes our score 17-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now Rosen on 1st down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the 2nd half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and just like that, it's 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, that's Ryan. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. That one looks like he'll throw here. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Steps away to his left and avoids the contact by sliding. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. On the move to his, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 5.
Flex round. Flex round.
Now the backup Kaiser to throw. Flush to his right. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
I think probably just trying to draw them off there, it didn't work.
And defensively, that's what you work on all the time. Being in that spot and being able to not jump and give them the yardage that they were desiring.
And Crosby puts it through. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
One final shot here for Rosen. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from Glendale.